Why do we do what we do? The music industry is an oversaturated market that has been ever developing, with a vast gap between those who have successfully made it to the mainstream and those who are yet to make it. We'll be exploring what legacy means and looks like in artistry. What role does mentorship play in artists' life, and what is its impact on their success?
Sometimes it's faith, people just having faith in you.
Iconic hip-hop pioneer group Squatter Camp shot to fame in the late 90s with chart-topping hits and multiple award-winning albums. Touring the continent as a rap star, Metane, aka Slikour, is well acquainted with life and the limelight.
Sometimes it's faith, people just having faith in you. Before anyone says anything, someone has to, particularly the people that gave you life, they have to validate, who you are, by convincing you or making you believe that you're on the right path with the things you believe in. A mentor can only do so much, but you need to know what you want,
It was exciting. I drive to Leondale, come to your mother's house, and then and then go to the roof. Slikkour is on the roof. That's where your studios were. Did you think those days that you'll end up where we are today? I mean, this is almost over a decade later.
Never. I just truly made a decision this morning. I said, in order for me to grow, I must actually further and even do greater things. I must stop thinking that it's my life. I need to start looking at this life like it's someone else's life. I need to stand aside and go, okay, that's what's happening to this guy.
We spoke to Andreas Nambambi, aka DJ Dreas, a Namibian producer and DJ living and studying in Cape Town, South Africa, about mentorship. What role does it play in his life, and what are his insights concerning this?
Yes, I believe in mentorship, but it differs, from person to person. Some people like to ask and to be shown the way so that they can do. Some other people like to learn themselves. I would say I like to learn myself because it's just much more better and just fulfilling. At the end of the day, if you can do something by yourself, then so I would say from person to person mentorship helps, but for me in other aspects of life, most definitely. But for music, I'm okay without mentorship.
Mentorship is just as important as the receiver. So young people also need to be very, very cautious of how things are being done versus what things really are. Because in that sense, you'll be able to ask for the right thing when you need that OG or that mentor, instead of you asking for the wrong thing.
Perhaps the ideology of mentorship is in perspective. If mentorship is as great as its receiver, maybe the conversation we ought to have is, how do we maximize the knowledge and legacy surrounding young artists?
Before I even released my music, I used to record. I write, I record. I have albums and albums on top of albums. But a friend of mine was like, yo, dude, you got the fire, you got the spit. So how about you just drop something? I was like, nah, man, I'm just too lazy to take my music out there. Then I met this guy, Artistry. Artistry was like, yo, dude, you got talent. I can move the music for you. So Artistry and Oarabile are the people I bounce my music on. Every time I record a song, I'm gonna take it to them. Like, yo, dude, how's the track? So they don't, when they listen to my music, they are not listening to it because I am their friend. They're gonna tell me straight, but I'm not hearing what you're saying here. What are you trying to say here? I'm like, oh, I thought this was a fire song. It's like, yeah, it's a good song, but fix that, and then let's listen to it again. So in that way, I was like, oh, these are the people I need to give my music to every time, so that when I take it out to the world, I don't think it's cool only to find out I'm going to get criticized in a way that I won't recover from, you understand? But at the same time, I'm more of a person who wants to send a certain message, you understand? So I want people to hear it clearly, you know, and not struggle or maybe find things that they feel uncomfortable with. Like, it must be just straight and clean. Like, yo, this is what he's saying. Yeah.
I'm about to blow. It has been a long time coming. Sorry about the wait, oh yeah. I took them baby steps, and now I'm on the track. I'm killing every track, like, oh yeah.
How does mentorship play a role in an industry that is filled with pride and ego? What is the cost of not having someone who will guide you on the right path for maintaining and building a legacy?
So I feel like for a young or an up and coming creative artist, you need somebody to show you, just to give you the guidelines of what is wrong or how to react to certain things, especially on social media, the internet, where there are trolls, people who react negatively to your content. You know, those things take a toll on different people. Some people don't have thick skin. Some people really get affected. So you need somebody to tell you that, nah, this is not worth reacting, or this is not, don't say this, don't say that, delete this, delete that. So I think it's very, very important for your legacy, to, have somebody who's right by your side, that's watching you, just to, keep you on your goal, on your purpose.
What did you teach him from your experience when you were young?
A star is born. And I mean, our influence, right, as executives, give us the opportunity to offer perspective and an opinion that is based off of our own trial and error. Well, the mentoring came a little bit later. I think the focus initially was to align our goals and make sure that the world was able to see Justin and start the conversation.
We got information, we got experience, we got knowledge, we got relationships. It's how do you leverage us, and learn from us. It's like, the older you become, it's like you become a tree, right? It's like when you become a tree, you can stand under the tree for shade, And sometimes, standing under the tree can be bad for you if there's lightning, So the older we become those trees, and you can stand under the tree for shade, you can stand under the tree to get hit by lightning, depending on what you're doing there. But it's that thing where, like, people have to be open to understanding that, like, human beings are as they get older, they become like living trees, because they carry the wisdom and the experience of a tree in that short life, and that short life is basically like a long life in lifespan, in anyone's lifespan. They might not be hip to everything that's happening in the world, but everything that's been hip has always been recycled, Experience and lessons and wisdom is consistent, and it doesn't just change. So the older you gotta become, you gotta also realize you're a tree. And that's what I believe in, and I think that's also kind of like my philosophy. That's why I don't need to be out there trying to be cool, or trying to be cooler than the guys that are really cool, But I'm a tree, and if they want shade, if they want to learn, if they want fruits, they can always pull. We always open every season. Mentorship is something that is successful if it's received. It's not something that's successful if it's imposed.